So in this section, we'll go over the VPC and I'll give you a short analogy of what it is. So VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. It's basically like a private part of AWS. So it's essentially your own cloud computing infrastructure where you can deploy resources. In resources such as EC2, which is a virtual computer, you can deploy databases, file servers, and things along those lines. And each resource is identified by a private IP address. And this is what allows you to communicate within your VPC. For example, a database has to communicate with a web server, but it's not going to do this over the internet. You're just going to communicate over the VPC. And communication is done through route tables, and communicating to the internet is through an internet gateway. And of course, we'll see this once we set up AWS. So the analogy I like to use to describe a VPC is a big office building. And imagine the company that owns this building has dozens of computers for each of its employees. The computers are hooked up through a local router to each other, and each computer has its own local IP address and communicate and send information to other computers on the local network. And the computers are also connected to the internet through an internet gateway, and requests outside of the local IP address are forwarded to the internet and then subsequently forwarded to its destination. And then the company also has its own hard drives, which are stored in a server rack. And for security reasons, the database isn't accessible over the internet. It's only accessible by the local network. And then there's also a file server that's also many hard drives housed in a server rack. And the file server is also only accessible by the local network. So imagine this building, and everything that is hardware in this scenario is virtual and hosted on the VPC in cloud computing. So that's how it works. VPCs essentially allow you to have a very robust and complex infrastructure that previously would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with cloud computing in AWS, you can have this entire infrastructure for only $100 or so per month, which is insane. And that's really the magic of cloud computing.